folks, the time has come, the day we've all been waiting for. The ballot boxes have been stuffed, the votes have been counted, they've been recounted, they've been re-dipped and refried. This year's field is absolutely stacked, and as you would expect, a lot of the heavyweights make a strong case to be at the top of this year's list again. In my opinion, Piedmont, Brick, and Buffaloes have quickly become the SEC of the chicken wing world. Pretty much unbeatable. But this year, I think there's some really serious contenders, some new timers. We've got more first timers this year than really at any other time in the past and any other list I've done. So this should be very, very interesting. So as you may know, expansion has really been a pretty big rumor for the last couple of years with this list. And I know a lot of people want to expand the list from 10 to 15. But you know what? We don't want to turn this list into an upward wing list where everybody gets a prize. So for now, the field is going to remain at 10. However, this year I'm going to do an honorable mention category just so we can show a little love to some more places here in Macon. Another change for this year's list, we're going to divide the wings into 3 super conferences: local wings, franchise wings, and then the third category is what I call pickup or carry-out wings, or some people might even say a gas station wing. So, and don't let that fool you. But anyway, there are a couple of rule changes that I want to go over before we jump into the list this year. First of all, I'm going to implement a 1 wing per restaurant rule. All right, so in the past, I've had one place have 2 or 3 wings on this list, but like Eminem says, this year you get 1 shot, 1 opportunity. So that's the first rule. The second new rule is you've got to be in Middle Georgia. And in the last 2 years, I've put Sandfly Barbecue from Savannah right square on my list, mainly because simply they deserve to be on the list. They are a top 2 or 3 wing in my book. So if you ever go down, it's right outside the Forest City Gun Club. Sandfly, get their wings. They are amazing. So, but again, in an effort to show more love to the Middle Georgia restaurants, reluctantly, I'm going to keep Sandfly off the list this year, but I highly, highly recommend. And the third rule this year, no nuggets. A few years back, I put a nugget on the list, and I took some real heat from what I would call the wing purist. I get it. A boneless wing is not a wing. It's a nugget. So that was my mistake, and I own that. You could say I was in a honey chipotle-induced fog when I put a nugget from Chili's on the list. So if you go to Chili's, pick up that nugget because it's pretty good. So without further ado, here is the 2022 wing list. All right, folks, here we go. As you can see, we've got all the players on the big board. We call this the wing wall. That's what I call it this year. So here we go. We're going to start off quickly with the honorable mentions, and these are in no particular order. The first one is CC's Wing and Fish. Now, you've really got to be looking for this place to find it. You're not just going to happen up on this. You got to put it in Google and go there. When you do, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. I would recommend the lemon pepper wing there. Hot Atlanta Wings, I really didn't even know that this place was still in business. But if you go there, get the garlic pepper wing. It's not garlic. It's not garlic parmesan, and it's not lemon pepper. It's garlic pepper. I've never heard of it, but it was really, really good. Pig on a Pie. This is one that a lot of people are very interested in. All their wings are smoked, and I think they do a really good job there. They're off Harley Bridge Road. Go check them out. 20's Pub. Now, I've seen this place probably 1,000 times, but I just went for the first time last week, and I'll tell you, they know what they're doing. They cook them really crisp, and that's how I like them. So this place was a really, really big surprise for me. All right, American Faves and Mo. Now, I know I'm probably going to take some heat from people for not having this in my actual top 10, but I think their lemon pepper wings are as good as anybody, so check them out. American Faves and Mo, right there on Vineville, where the old Crystal used to be. All right, so closing out honorable mentions in this year's list is Wild Wing Cafe, Bubba's Barbecue. Again, I think this is one of the best sweet sauces you're ever going to find. This one actually dropped out of my top 10 from last year. Again, not because they've slipped or they've done anything wrong. I just think there's some other new wings out there that I've given a try this year. So you gotta go check that out. So anyway, there you have it. There's your honorable mention. So let's go ahead and jump into the top 10 wings of 2022. All right, coming in at number 10 this year is Glory Days. Honestly, y'all, I've never found a wing there that I was just in love with. It's a little bit complicated to me. There's a dry rub, there's buffalo, and then there's fire grilled. So a bunch of different ways that you can get your wings. So maybe I just did not know how to order. So I messaged somebody that I know, somebody's in the know, and he told me to get the smoked dry rub wing with Glory sauce. Problem solved. It was a really, really good wing. And so when I go back, that's exactly what I'll get. All right, moving on, excuse me, moving on to number 9 this year is Cheers on Northside Drive. Now this place is like a mile and a half from my office, and I probably haven't eaten there in 20 years. But somebody put me onto it, and I went there one day last week, and I'll tell you, they were really, really good. I would tell you to get the Jack Daniel's barbecue wing. That's the one, I got 2 of them, but that was my favorite one. It was awesome. You'll be glad you did. All right, coming in at number 8 this year is Shane's. No, not the place that sells ribs, but Shane's Sit-Go. It's at the corner of Forest Hill and Northside. It is hands down the best gas station wing you're gonna find anywhere. They smoke all their wings, and those are really good all by themselves, but my favorite wing at Shane's is their Carolina Gold wing. Honestly, all their food is great. They do home cooking pretty much every day, or at least every day of the week. Fried chicken, mac and cheese, butter beans, everything like that. It's really, really good. So don't be ashamed to have lunch at a gas station. And those who know, well, they know. All right, coming in at number 7 on my list this year is Macon Beer Company. Now, they were on my list a couple of years ago with their sort of famous peanut butter and jelly wing. But I had it last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. I think it's better now than it was then. But this year, I'm gonna put their Thai chili wing on my list. It is incredibly good. It is my favorite Thai chili wing of anywhere. So, I'm not a huge presentation guy, but you can see from the image on the screen, there's a clear delineation between the 2 flavors that I ordered, and they do that every time. And to me, that's pro level in my book. So, all right. No, coming in at number 6 this year is the 4th newcomer to our list, and it's Biddy's. Now, this is a place that I'd never heard of before, but several members of Wing Nation last year commented on the video, the list that I did last year, and they put me on this place. And I'll tell you, I was not disappointed. My favorite wing there, it's called Golden Bird, and it's really similar to another very well-known wing in this area, one that everybody knows about, and this place is great. It's a little bit off the beaten path, but well worth it. I think it's over by the jail downtown off of Oglethorpe. Check it out. Don't let the location scare you off. Inside, it's a great place. It's a fantastic wing. They do a really good job. All right, here we go. Before we move on to number 5, we got some comments and questions that are flying in. Thank you. Appreciate it there, Mr. Producer. All right, so I want to get to a couple of these before we jump into number 5. Jerry and Macon ask, why don't you ever do a top 10 hottest wings list? Good question, Jerry. Well, that list comes out the 33rd of February. I don't like wings that are too hot. I don't need a Death Reaper pepper wing anywhere near me or whatever they are. I want to be able to taste my wings. So appreciate your question. All right. The next one, Chad in Atlanta writes in, thank you for your service to Wing Nation. Chad, I appreciate it. That is a responsibility that I really take serious. All right, thanks, Chad. All right, Pam from Macon says, I'm glad you didn't video yourself eating wings. Nobody wants to see that. Well, thank you for your feedback there, Pam. For those of you that know, Pam is my wife, and she's not a big fan of the dynamic duo that is me and a chicken wing. All right, finally here, Casey from Macon asked if I would be willing to judge wings cooked at home. Oh yeah, you have your people reach out to my people, and we will make that happen. So thanks again for those questions. Keep them coming. All right, Moving on to the top 5 wings here in Middle Georgia. Number 5 on the list is Buffalo's Red Hot Ranch. So if you followed my list for the last several years or so, you know that this wing, it really has a very special place in the heart of my belly. Candidly, this is the wing that I eat most of every year. I eat there twice a week, 8 wings per visit. I don't take weeks off. 52 weeks a year, carry the one. I estimate I probably eat over 800 wings per year from this place. And honestly, if I had one wing place that I was sort of trapped in for a month, it would be Buffalo's. As a side note, their hangover burger is probably my favorite burger in Macon. So go by and check them out. Of course, that place is not a secret. All right, coming in at number 4 this year is Fish and Pig. Now, this was a surprise to me because honestly, I didn't know they had wings. But I got some insider information from somebody a couple of weeks ago, a trusted source, and he told me that without a doubt, this is the best wing in Middle Georgia. So I went there. It was the second supper I had last Saturday night, and I ordered 6 wings. They weren't cheap, and this is what I got. Here's the picture. Honestly, I was very disappointed in what I got. I really was. I took one bite and I was even more disappointed. And I was disappointed that I didn't give that lady all the money in my wallet and tell her to just fill up my bag with every wing that they had in that kitchen. These things were unbelievable, and I'm not exaggerating this at all. So to me, out of nowhere, to jump to number 4 on the list is an incredible feat. I don't think it's ever been done before. And honestly, I don't even know what kind of wings they were. They said they only do 1 wing on Saturday night, and it was like a refried buffalo wing. You could taste the buffalo sauce. It was very crispy, probably a medium flavor, but they were absolutely perfect. So going forward, I'm going to call this place Fish and Pig and Chicken. They've earned it. All right, so we have reached our final 3, the top 3 wings on the 2022 wing list. Coming in at number 3 on the list this year is the Brick Brown Sugar Hot with lemon pepper sprinkles. Look, this one, as I said last year, this has been my number 1 wing more times than anybody else. They are the Alabama of the wing world. And this wing's not a secret here in town. Everybody knows about it. It's a very well-known wing. Always consistent, always great. I've tried to recreate this sauce at home with very mixed results. Honestly, I gave up a couple of years ago. It's just easier to go in and ask them if they'll give you a cup of it. I mean, you have to pay for it. But it's fantastic. And honestly, I don't know why no other place has tried to replicate this sauce, because it would be worth it to give it a shot. So, all right, here we go. Coming in at number 2 this year is the number 1 wing from last year, and it's Piedmont Smoked White Barbecue. So guys, if you haven't tried Piedmont before, do yourself a favor and go to Piedmont this weekend. These things are so good. They've got smoked wings, to me, down to a science. I think a lot of people say that they know how to smoke wings, but to me, this is the best smoked chicken wing that I've ever had anywhere. It's amazing. I also know that you may be a little bit weirded out by white barbecue sauce, but don't be scared. The Piedmont white barbecue sauce is the number 2 wing. It is off the charts good. And I'll go ahead and give a shout out to their Yum Yum flavor. So if you go, I would get get half white barbecue and half Yum Yum. That's how you do it. And that's really pretty much a 101 level wing tip. If you go somewhere and you get 10 or 12 wings, really from anywhere, always split between 2 flavors until you've tried them all. So, all right, the time is here. Without further ado, the number 1 wing, the valedictorian of the class of 2022 is the Mercer Gold Wing from Fran Carr's. You know, even novice wing eaters have probably heard of Fran Carr's before. This wing is absolutely amazing. And there's a lot of people that do a Carolina Gold sauce, and that's sort of what the Mercer Gold sauce is. A lot of folks do that, and they do a pretty good job with it. You know, Biddy's, the number 6 wing on this year's list, is probably as close to the Mercer Gold Wing as I've seen from anybody. But Fran Carr's comes out on top this year, and I would make the argument that this is probably the most consistent wing on the list. And I think that's probably because the same guy cooks them every single day. They don't have somebody new trying to learn the fryer every week. I think Carl is his name, and chicken wings is his game. The place can be a little bit quirky if you're not used to it. They've got a very regimented dining process, and frankly, that's probably why their wings are so consistent. So here's another thing. Honestly, I've never had 6 or 10 wings from Fran Carr's. The debate is always between 15 or 20. And that's when you know you're in the #1 wing place. When you're just trying to figure out how many of those suckers you can stuff in your pie hole. I've done 30 before by myself, but I wouldn't recommend this level of commitment. But 15 wings or 20 wings with no fries is the perfect number at Fran Carr's. So there you have it, the top 10 wings in Middle Georgia. As always, I love your feedback, so please give me your thoughts. You guys gave me a ton of ideas last year, and as this list grows, this whole phenomenon, this wing phenomenon grows, I hope I can bring you more wing content so you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll do my best to provide some more wing content in the future. So thanks again for watching and sharing this video with wing lovers that you know. So happy Wing Day, everybody. Take care.